Okay, doing a video here on the poor man's covered call, which is basically the purchase of a leap option, which is a long dated call option, maybe 2 years out in the future. 15, 20 strikes in the money, depends obviously on the price of the option, but you want to go well in the money to make sure you get a very high delta. That's the first part of the trade. The second part then is to sell a shorter dated option. So as I'm recording this video, we are in July, so you'd be selling something like a regular August call option, maybe 1-2 strikes out of the money, to basically bring in the income, to basically mirror what a traditional covered call does. So we all know a covered call is basically a stock purchase. You sell calls against that on a monthly basis, 45-day basis. So the poor man's covered call is that you basically, the long option, the leap, basically substitutes the shares. But I have a problem with that, and the problem is that there's a lot of problems with this type of trade. See, this type of strategy is being, it's been promoted out there in trading circles because analysts, brokers will tell you that you don't need as much capital, which is true. It's a nimbler strategy, which is true. But here are the downfalls. First of all, you need a really liquid stock. Straight away, if you're dealing with a stock that is not liquid, straight away when you purchase that long leap option, you're down already because you're not going to get a good fill. Secondly, you have theta working against you. You're buying time, okay? Now, okay, traditionalists will tell you if the stock hasn't done what you want it to do in 2 years, then maybe you shouldn't be holding that stock anyway, and buying a call option may limit losses instead of buying stock. That may be true. That is true to one degree, but here's the problem I have with that. You buy a call option instead of buying stock, you can't collect any dividends. Okay, as I've said, you're buying time. If that position goes against you, then you're up against the clock. You're thinking, well, do I sell? Do I roll? And all the time you're not collecting any dividends to basically be able to reduce that cost basis over time. Now, traditionally, how they're set up is like this. Basically, the difference between the strikes, so you have your long strike leap option, maybe 18 months, 2 years in the money, and you have a short option, maybe a month out of the money, to basically bring in that premium every month. So basically, here's how the math works. The difference between those two strikes plus what you're getting for your sold call option, the sum of those two must be greater than the cost of the leaps. Okay? Why do we need this formula? Because basically, if your strike prices are too close together, and if the stock moves north for you, which is what we want, a covered call trade or a poor man's covered call is basically a neutral to bullish trade. Well, if it's not set up correctly, you're going to have the delta all messed up, and you could actually lose money despite the stock or call option moving in your direction. So just remember, it's the difference between the strikes plus what you collect on the short call. The sum of those must be greater than the cost of your long dated call. If you have this set up correctly, then if the stock moves in your direction, if you get a jolt, maybe it could be after an earnings call or a binary event or something like that, you're still going to make money because the delta on your long call is going to be larger than the delta on your short call. Okay, really, really important. Okay, but my own philosophy, my own advice here would be, don't do this strategy. Save up your money. If you do not have funds to do a traditional covered call trade, stay away from the market. Wait until you can sell a put, a cash secured put, so you have funds to buy shares, or else buy a basket of shares, buy 100 shares, buy cheaper shares. A cheap liquid stock is perfect for starters, getting their feet wet with covered calls. Those would be my recommendations for this type of trade. I'll see you in the next video.